you can start a shaved ice business on a budget. And you know what? You should start a shaved ice business. This is Mike, the Caesar of concessions. I'm going to tell you how to start that shaved ice business and hopefully change your life. Okay. First thing you're going to need is a shaved ice machine. I will post links later on in the video of where you can see the machines that I use in my concession stands. And if you know anything about me or my videos, you know I like to start out things on a budget and keep my overhead really low. So that way I can maximize my profits. So I will post a link to that machine later on in the video. You can buy a shaved ice machine, a pretty decent one, for $200. That is a great price for a decent shaved ice machine. It has a knob on it where you can actually fine-tune how you want your shaved ice cut up, right? Do you want it real fine and powdery? Do you want it a little coarser? It's really up to you and how you want to present that shaved ice product. Okay? The next thing you're going to need is a very cheap canopy. You can get these for like $50. So you have a $200 machine, a $50 canopy. You can also, you will also need to buy cups to put your shaved ice in, right? So these cups are about $80, okay? And I think you get like 500 of them or something. So they're like 15 cents a piece for these styrofoam 16-ounce cups. Now, why am I recommending that over like the plastic bowls and different sizes like that? Because we're starting off on a budget and we can always buy those later on if that's what we want. But I personally, when you start at the budget, and currently this is what I use because they work great. 16 ounces is a pretty decent sized cup for shaved ice. So I would recommend to start out with that. Now the flavoring. I would definitely go with the concentrate flavoring. You can make your own simple syrup, however, wherever you want to do that at, and make those flavors. That'll cost you about 25 cents, per snow cone or shaved ice, whatever you want, snowball, call it whatever you want to call it. So we got $200 machine, got about $90 in cups, right? $50 canopy, and depending on how many flavors you want to use, and depending on the cost of that, but that'll cost you about 25 cents a cup, right? 15 cents a cup, 25 cents a cup for flavoring, and however much your ice costs. I mean, so we're talking about 50 cents is what you're going to have in to the snow cone or shaved ice or wine, call it whatever you want. We're just going to call it snow cones for this video. You're going to have about 50 cents into this, and you can easily sell a 16-ounce snow cone for $5. You could probably get 6. You could probably get 7. That is all up to you. We sell ours for $5. And the reason we sell them for $5 over hiking up the prices is because we like volume. And when you sell them for $5, pretty easy price tag, people have $5, $10, you can sell multiple at a time, relatively easy, and really boost your profits by selling with volume as opposed to sticker price. Hopefully I explained that properly. We're always pushing for volume and not a sticker price because we want to sell more and more and more. Okay? So we have the canopy, we have the ice machine. We have the flavoring. We also have the cups. Now, what about ice? Now, the machines that I use, they take cubed ice. And there's a reason I do that. Number one is I have ice machines in my locations that put out cubed ice for injuries for athletes, for our iced teas or lemonades, and our bag-in-a-box soda fountain, right? So that fits into our business model. However, when we are out and doing jobs and not at the set location, we can buy bags of ice relatively cheap wherever. Walmart, at Sam's Club, it doesn't matter. You can buy the big bags of ice, and those will go into your hopper that is on top of the machine. It keeps it very simple, because if you don't use that kind that takes cubed ice, now you're talking about you probably got to have a deep freezer somewhere, right? And then you got to put your ice in blocks or molds to form the ice that is needed for the much more expensive machines. You know, those will run you $1,000, $1,500, whatever. So we're talking about a huge upfront cost for that. Why would you do that when you can start off on a budget and work your way up, if that's what you choose to do, as far as buying a shaved ice machine? Okay, so we have ice, we got the tent, we have the snow cone syrup, we have the shaver. Where and why would you even sell shaved ice? Well, the reason you're going to sell it, number one, is the profit margin is probably the best out of all the things that I sell. Out of like 100 items I sell, shaved ice is probably the best when it comes to profit margin. Okay, and that's huge. That's important. You want to have a little less, on the profit margin side, on the cost, and really a little bit higher on the sell side. And when you have a massive gap of 50 cents into something to $5 that you're selling it, that's a massive, really a massive profit potential there. Okay, that's a huge reason why you should sell shaved ice. The amount of flavors that you can have, I mean, it's really limitless. The amount of flavors that you can put on your shaved ice is absolutely insane. I mean, there's probably 100, 200 different types of flavoring out there. So the flavors that you want to sell can really be anything. Me personally, I go with 2 or 3 flavors max, because I have found through my over a decade's worth of selling this that a red or a blue is really all you need. If you want a third, go for it. I typically go with 2. Like I said, sometimes we'll go with the third. Now, where are you going to sell this? Honestly, you can pretty much sell this anywhere that you can set up. It doesn't just have to be festivals and fairs. You can set this up in front of gas stations. You could set this up in a park. You can set this up, honestly, anywhere. And why? Because it sells to everybody. I'm talking from babies all the way up to 100-year-old adults. It sells to all ages. It sells to all demographics, particularly if your price point is correct, around $5. You can sell it to poor, middle class, and rich people. Anyone can really afford that, and they can really enjoy it. Okay? I would highly recommend you look at the shaved ice business to get into, because it is absolutely phenomenal. I will post some links in this video so you can see how and where I sell my shaved ice and the equipment I use. This is Mike, the Caesar of concessions, out.